What's up, Friendly Fire Gang? We are back with another episode for y'all, coming up on episode 8. What? That was terrible. Anyways, what's up, Matt? How's your weekend? How you doing, man?
Pretty good. Unfortunately, not a lot of good football to watch this week.
No.
Wanted to kick it off. No
Aha.
punt intended.
Yeah, right. Keeping that dad joke rolling.
Keeping
Just
that
like
rolling.
the football. Just like the football
Kinda.
this weekend.
Kinda. Shit
No,
was
like
not
balls,
rolling
like
for
balls
a
on the
year.
ground rolling.
Oh yeah, for real, dude. It was a poor display of football this weekend. I mean, we're not professional athletes by any means, but like, I want to be entertained. These people are getting paid $56 million. Like, NFL
Literally.
put out it was basically mostly blowouts. Like, it was not really very close games. I mean, the Chiefs are sucking it up, but
0-4.
0-4 is supposed to be like a good team and just letting everybody down. Everybody's like, oh,
They're gonna come back. They're gonna come back.
Okay.
Yeah, there are some ESPN reports of guys talking about the Chiefs. Like, they've been kind of saying it the past couple of games. They're like, oh, they just got to kick it in gear, get it together. And now everybody's looking at it like, yeah, I don't think they're really getting their shit together. Like, not
Tampa
like
Bay will
everybody
probably win
expected.
again. Tampa Bay
Yeah.
probably win the Super Bowl.
Right? Jeez. But, man, Saturday morning, OU, God, the start of that game was awful. I mean, for starters, OU didn't score in the first half since the first time since 2018. There were a total of 8 penalties against OU in the first half, and like 7 of them, I swear, were from the first quarter. And then in the first quarter, I think it was like 3 minutes into the game, there's a power outage in the city, in that area, of course. So they go all old school with it, and they start getting the time clock and stuff, like doing it manually on the ends of the field. And everybody was like, what the hell? I've never seen this. But it was just such a weird game. I was like, what is going on with the earth right now? Like,
Yeah, that game was kind of a dumpster fire, honestly. Like, there was no defense to speak of. Like, neither from either team, honestly.
No.
It looked like anybody's defense showed up. Nobody wanted to fucking tackle anybody, that's for damn sure.
yeah, if you go watch the highlights, you'll see just missing tackles. But then, of course, OU kind of kicks it up into gear, literally with like 10 seconds left of the third quarter. And we've only had like 1 touchdown. And yeah, the fourth quarter, they start actually kind of playing a little bit, give or take. But of course, somehow OU still pulls through to carry like the highlight of the week. And Caleb Williams handed it off to, I think it was Brooks, I want to say. I could be wrong on that.
Yeah, K. Brooks.
And he was getting tackled and getting pulled back. Well, Caleb saw that, like, oh, he's going down, and he just immediately thought, like, grab the ball from him. So he grabs the ball from him and runs it. And anyways, I think we get the first down on that because I think we were on, like, 3rd or 4th. And so, of course, that clip made a highlight of the week. I mean, he even had Baker Mayfield just tweeting, literally right after that play, was Caleb Williams, period. And I was like, jeez.
I mean, okay, so that was a pretty controversial play. So he handed off the running back. The running back was still behind the line of scrimmage, getting tackled.
He was ahead of the line of scrimmage, and then was getting tackled.
So he went past the line of scrimmage, got pulled back.
Right.
Caleb grabbed the ball. I mean, that's kind of, technically it wasn't like a pitch. Like, he literally grabbed the ball from him. Like, he basically stripped his own player.
And the ruling on the field stood as a first down for OU because he grabbed the ball behind the line of scrimmage and wasn't down yet. Brooks wasn't down yet.
Yeah, that was pretty. I don't think I've ever seen a play like that. I'm sure there's probably something similar that's happened, but that's pretty crazy. And I saw a play from the first quarter with the Kansas City quarterback. The dude was running, right? Had literally like inches to go to get a touchdown and ran out of bounds.
Oh,
I was like,
that
what
was
the
hilarious.
fuck? I mean, to be fair, it kind of benefited them because they ran time off the clock and they still got the touchdown. But like, what? To reach the ball out, dude.
Yeah,
like,
it was confusing. Even the announcers were like, "Why did he do that?" Like, okay, whatever, I guess. Like,
yeah, I don't know. That was a dumpster fire of a game. There was no defense to speak of. Like every time I saw the I wanted to call them Chiefs for a second, but the Jayhawks pass the ball, there was no quarterback within like 5 to 10 yards of them. Like there was nobody there, nobody home in the backfield. They were just getting ran over. I mean, I think Caleb Williams did most of our rushing yards too.
Dude, honestly.
I mean, he had some
as a
great
quarterback,
plays.
Yeah, as the quarterback when he's running from like the 40 or the 35, I think it was, maybe the 37, dude ran it straight into the end zone. And I mean, for a quarterback to be doing that, that's just... I mean,
you just don't see that in the NFL. It's never that easy. The defense is just so much more severe, which, I don't know. To speak on that, I mean, like, from the games we saw with the NFL, there was a bunch of blowouts. So nobody's defense showed up this week for NFL or college, apparently.
What is it called? The Earth was in retrograde or whatever this weekend?
Oh, yeah. I think the moon was in retrograde, to be specific.
Something like that. It had to do exactly with football, too.
My stars were off. Oh, man. Yeah,
man,
but it was...
yeah, and by the way, it was Dallas's bye week, so they didn't play.
Ah, okay. Okay.
So no highlights or talking about Dallas this week, but next week, hopefully be putting up the W.
Put up another dub. I mean, I know the Dolphins aren't, so that's for sure.
That's for damn sure.
I gave up hope on them a while back.
Everyone has always given up. They've never had hope for them in general.
No, every year somebody tells me, oh, they're going to be good this year. They're going to be good. They got good draft picks. And they fucking suck.
Dude, I mean, they could be the next Browns, you know?
When I'm 50. The NFL's even a thing anymore. Like.
Man, that's funny. But all right, going into spoiler alert, we are going to be going and talking about you.
You, the listeners, where we've been watching.
We're going, pretty much. We've got security cameras in every room. Just ignore those.
Wave high. Go ahead and subscribe too, since we see you not subscribing.
Yeah, you look at that camera and you give a thumbs up, and then you subscribe, and you're all good. That's all we ask.
You're all good. You too, Mr. FBI agent. I know you're listening.
Nah, but yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get into I keep wanting to say episode 3 and episode 4. So again, spoiler alert, just throwing that out there. And this will probably go on for, I don't know, give or take like 5 to 7 minutes. So if you want to fast forward, feel free to go ahead too. Unless you fast forward right onto the spoiler alert, that'd be kind of funny. But anyways.
Bummer to you. Big bummer. Big L's.
It's your fault for not skipping past it.
We'll make sure to put the timestamps down below, so if you guys don't want spoilers, get ready. We're about to spoil a lot of shit.
Man, but I still can't believe Joe got the measles and it took him on like a mushroom trip.
Dude, okay. That was crazy. So, let's see. At the end of episode 2, they hid the body and they were all like going crazy and they started going to marriage counseling or whatever. So I wanted to say season 2. Damn.
My bad. Your dyslexia is hitting me.
So episode 3 is called Missing White Woman Syndrome. And so basically it's just this big media fest with like Natalie going missing. There's these vans all outside her husband's house, her husband Matthew's house, which is an unfortunate name to have in this scenario.
I think it's a great name for the scenario.
But so that's happening. There's a bunch of vans outside. They're like fucking going crazy. And Joe's kind of paranoid because he thinks that, Matt has something on him because he's like the head of this tech company and like he has all these security cameras everywhere. And he's kind of paranoid that Natalie didn't tell him that there were some cameras still on. So he's all tripping out.
And dude, his security room was crazy.
Dude, yeah. Matt's a fucking... I mean, he was on to shit, dude. He was on to shit. But, I mean, okay, so Joe has to meet with the FBI agents, right? And he's sitting there and he's sweating and they're asking him all these questions about Natalie. and they ask him about when she brings him condoms when he's sitting in the parking lot, and he fucking confesses to masturbating in the car. And I was like, dude, first off, how did that scenario benefit him?
Oh my god, he finally got benefited from being weird.
Dude, like, I don't understand the dude. The dude jerks off fucking everywhere, and I'm like, how? Legitimately kind of crazy.
Yeah.
To have that kind of insane focus to be able to just feel comfortable to jerk off anywhere.
Anywhere.
The dude, it's unfathomable how he doesn't get caught doing anything he does. Because he jerks off in public, doesn't get a ticket, fucking leaves dead bodies everywhere, leaves all this evidence. When he fucking buried Natalie, he put the axe in there, didn't wear gloves when he did it. So I'm like, thank God they never found Natalie's body. Like, but what the fuck? Like, he's so sloppy, and somehow he gets away with it. Tell me how.
Yeah. I aspire to be like him.
I don't.
No, I'm
like,
just kidding.
like, it's so bizarre. Like, it drives me nuts.
Just watching this show makes me nervous for him. And, like, put that into real life. How much more nervous would you be? Like,
I don't know. If I just jerked off randomly and didn't know what I was doing, it would make me pretty fucking nervous, I guess. Like,
and then from there, he goes to the party, right? He gets invited to this party, and Love makes some cookies and whatnot, and the lady there is a bitch. Oh, my kids don't eat fruit or sugar. She's like, oh, well, they're sugar free. Anyways, blah blah blah.
Well, fruit has sugar in it.
Yeah, right.
And like, oh my god, fucking Cheryl. I hate Sherry. Hate her.
And then the kid gets measles, man. He's in the hospital, and it was like really bad for him. Well, then it goes on to the next scene, and Joe has the measles, and he's like tripping out, like literally some like crazy trippy thing. What he's like going fucking everywhere, like keeps waking up at random places, or so he thinks.
Yeah, because he's going.
Dude wakes up on the couch of the neighbor.
Yeah, because he's going to hide a bloody scarf. Okay, the dude's hallucinating with a bloody scarf of Natalie's, hops the fence, hides it somehow, and then wakes up on the couch and goes home and doesn't get caught. How?
With
Tell
security cameras everywhere.
Everybody's so fucking dumb and smart at the same time. I hate it. It drives me crazy. Like, what the fuck? But like,
yeah, that's pretty much that one. He just ends the episode just tripping balls.
But like, so we go into the next episode. Henry ends up being fine from having the measles. He doesn't die or anything, and they're like trying to figure out who doesn't have their vaccination. And I know
Joe
you noticed it too.
Never had it.
But the thing is, I think it's funny that in the show they talk so heavily about vaccinations. They bring up COVID and all this stuff, and I'm like, wow, you guys are really hitting the real life points here, aren't we? Huh?
Dude, I've noticed a lot of shows with newer seasons coming out that were put off through COVID. They're like talking about COVID and like things like it, like the vaccine. Like they're like side talking about having a vaccination, and they make pretty much a quarter of the episode about not being vaccinated.
I know. I've been noticing that it's like heavy. Like it's pretty heavy-handed in episode like 3 and 4. Like the talk about the vaccines, which is like it makes it kind of more real life.
Wearing the masks.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of makes it more like realistic in a way, but it's like it's kind of crazy that just how much everything's changed with like COVID and everything. That it's like in the shows, it's like incorporated in the story music. Now. You know, in music, everything.
Yeah. Like, but, I know, of course, Eminem's got a song on it. And
oh, really? I actually did not know that.
Wait, for real?
No, I didn't know that.
I'll have to have you listen to it after this episode. I'd play it over the mic, but then we get flagged.
Yeah, everything's going good. And then fucking, of course, Love does something fucking nutty and hits okay, so Gil, this super nice fucking dude, comes up into Love's bakery and is like, hey, my kid's got your kid sick. And she's like, okay, let me just fucking bash your head open and store you in the basement. In
the alone, shop. I'm pretty sure they were like blinds open too.
Okay, two things. One, it was daytime, so if there's cameras everywhere, correct? So he goes in there and never comes out. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Nobody saw that. Everybody's just like, okay, he killed himself. He was just missing for 8 days. The last place he went into was the bakery. It's a small fucking town, and nobody figured it out.
Literally, they drive so hard on how small the town is, but then all these people start going missing, and they're like, oh my god, I don't know what the fuck to do. Like, where'd they go? Oh no.
These new neighbors showed up, and then people went missing. It's like the Clark Kent thing. Like, where's Superman? There's Superman. He took off his glasses. Like, you guys are literally fucking blind, apparently.
That's such a good reference.
It's just... don't get me wrong. I like the show, but, like, a little bit, like... come on, man. Like, it's a little bit, like, how are they really getting away with it at this point?
Yeah.
A little too, like, far out there. Because he went in there. They've shown, in later episodes, they show cameras. Like, that there's cameras everywhere. In front of the bakery and everything.
He hacks the whole town's cameras.
Yeah, but he only looks for Natalie. Like, we're gonna get ahead of ourselves, but like, still, we already said spoiler alert. So if you guys, but like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, they get away with way too much. I mean, I like the show, but it's like, come on.
For
Two
real.
people go missing. The last place they were at was the bakery, and we're not putting this together.
All right. I think we better move on from that, or else we're going to spend forever talking about them. Ready to get into the last episodes of it.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of missing people, so Brian, the boyfriend of Gabby Petito, was apparently found dead, but probably not.
Now reports are, as of today, the 25th, it's supposedly not his. The only thing that they have right now, Brian Laundrie, is still his dental records. But what they're saying, what was the body's bones or whatever, they're now taking it back, saying it's not his.
But the other thing is, like, so Brian Laundrie's family was already saying, like, no funeral, like, investigation. Like, they're probably hiding him. Like, they have to be.
Yeah. Dude, I'm telling you, he's out of the country.
Think he's out of the country?
Oh, 100%.
I just think it's crazy. But, like, not only that, like, they found, like, 9 other bodies looking for him. Like,
yeah, right.
And another crazy thing. Okay, so this is a little bit more, like, for us. But, like, so this whole thing started in Florida, currently where I live. Apparently, they found Brian in Colorado, currently where Cody lives. And they found Gabby in Wyoming, where our friend lives. Our close friend that we all three used to be roommates. And now it's all happening in each one of our own individual states.
Yeah, so SOS.
SOS? Something's happening?
Again, to the FBI, if you're listening, please just carry on. Move on.
But
dude,
yeah.
It's just crazy to me. I like this. You know, I saw a good point, too, with finding these other bodies, and a lot of people are kind of mad at the same time because they're like, so why weren't these bodies as important as now? Of,
in a way, Brian. Like, episode 3 of You actually says missing white woman syndrome, and, like, kind of goes along with what's happening here in a way.
Right. But I kind of see other people's like points on that because like, oh well, why wasn't my son as important as her son? Like,
I mean, yeah, because usually
it's just like because it's been blown up by social media.
That's true. I mean, like it was huge because like this all like kind of like blew up from TikTok. If they weren't like somewhat TikTok famous for doing this shit,
yeah,
it probably wouldn't be as big of a case. No,
probably not. Or it's just something you hear about and then it moves on.
Yeah, I mean, like, you're like, oh, this girl's going missing. And then, like probably we would hear, like, about now, like, oh, he's found dead, but he's not dead. And then it would probably start getting a little bit bigger. But we've heard, like, every update. Like, fucking Dog the Bounty Hunter got on it. It's kind of crazy. I mean, like...
Yeah.
regardless
no, for sure.
of who, like, it's sad that not everybody can be found. Okay, like it's not like we're not like making fun of it.
Realistically.
Like realistically, it's sad that like not everybody can be found. I just think it's insane that like all like it's kind of interesting that we've been able to follow this whole case. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong. I wish this week that like each person's report like or case we could get this much detail on it because like making more people aware about it because like this is crazy.
Just imagine if they did put into like the people who supposedly went missing to like sex trafficking, like how much they would find.
That's the thing. It's like it really that's a whole nother can of worms, to be honest.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I'm like, just saying, like that's, you know,
it is
like how much they could find if they really did just focus on like, you know, one main thing. Not saying that they don't. I don't know if they do or if they don't, but still.
I mean, you've heard of the first 48, right? Like after 48 hours, like sometimes people are considered like they're gone. Like,
yeah.
Gone after 48 hours.
Hey, they got a whole freaking show about it in Oklahoma. It seems like.
Yeah, I mean, like the first 48's like I don't know.
It seems like it's like only Oklahoma. Every time it shows like video footage or like stories.
It's actually a pretty decent show. If you guys haven't watched that, go ahead, give that a watch. Pretty interesting. Like that kind of stuff.
But man, yeah, so we'll keep y'all updated as we stay updated, of course, too. Yeah, because that thing I just saw today, because, I mean, 2 days ago, they were saying that they found Brian Laundrie, and everybody was like, hoorah, and then now today they reported that it's not him. People are like, oh.
Well, fuck. It's like, this is like a real TV show shit happening. Like,
right? Dude, let's start a fucking documentary and become Netflix famous.
Start following everybody around.
All right, guys. Podcast is switching to crime-friendly fire. Friendly crime fire.
Friendly crime fire. That sounds risky.
Man, but I think we're going to go and switch up the vibe a little bit and get into some Would You Rather, baby.
Would you rather?
Our weekly segment brought to you by Friendly Fire Gang. Be sure to give it a like, a subscribe. Please give it a comment, guys. We got a few comments popping in weekly. We love to hear from you guys. Let's keep those numbers coming. We have looked into Spotify and Apple Podcasts more, and bear with us. We're still getting it worked out because you have to do this weird thing where you have to go through separate platforms, and y'all don't want to hear the logistics of that.
We're figuring it out, y'all.
Yeah, we're getting it worked out. But yeah, let's go ahead and get this kicked off, man. I found one today, actually, that I wanted to do on the podcast. This one's a tough one. And it's, would you rather have ghosts or cockroaches in your crib?
I mean, if I've learned anything from the show Supernatural, I feel like I could take on ghosts. But cockroaches, they can survive like nuclear blasts, and they are really hard to get rid of. But
I think ghosts, honestly, because I feel like I've already lived with them, and I'm like really weird about like bugs being inside like that. Like I'm not scared of them, but I don't want cockroaches running around in my freaking cabinets.
And to be fair, ghosts never to me, I mean, I've never experienced this, but I've never really heard of this. But they don't really spoil your food or like get into all your food and stuff. And cockroaches will just like infest everything. Like you're trying to have a bowl of cereal and like there's cockroaches in the cereal. You know, like fuck that. Like
you got to clean out your cabinets like every single day.
Yeah, you gotta defumigate and shit. At least with like ghosts, you get like a priest or something. It doesn't like smell bad.
I'll be going around burning sage and throwing holy water at the walls.
Yeah, I mean, like
my wife would walk in and be like, "What the hell are you doing? There's ghosts in here."
Plus, it said ghosts. It didn't say if they weren't friendly ghosts. We could have friendly ghosts, maybe Casper or something. You never know. Like they could be cool.
Hell yeah, I'll hang out with some Casper.
Okay, would you rather sit in a cage of non-venomous snakes, spiders, or cockroaches?
Snakes.
Snakes?
Well,
I probably go with snakes as well. They're all none of them are venomous.
Yeah, but it just says none of them are venomous. It doesn't say that they won't bite you. Cockroaches, I don't think bite you.
Yeah, would you rather cockroaches or spiders or snakes crawl all over you? Because if you just sit there, you might be okay.
Snakes would be fine. I'd be fine with snakes. You put like me in a bathtub full of boa constrictors, like they ain't gonna do no harm. Or sorry, boa ball pythons.
Yeah, boa constrictors will probably fuck you up.
Probably, yeah.
But no, I don't think I could like handle spiders or cockroaches crawling over me. Because at least snakes, like,
it's the little legs for me.
Yeah, it's just the little legs. Plus, getting bit by a spider, even if they're non-venomous, just God,
yeah,
fuck that noise.
Yeah, because like I don't know, I'm not scared of spiders. Like daddy long legs, I'll pick those up, but it's the little legs once they start going. So I mean, cockroaches probably like they kind of carry like the same like tickling feeling, I guess.
Yeah, cockroaches are gross too. I don't know, just not about that.
But I got or y'all leave your comment below on what you would rather choose. I got a good one for you, Matt.
All right, let's hear it.
I can't answer this one fully, but I can kind of answer it. It says, would you rather be a wizard but all your spells are random, or be a ninja like from Naruto but you only get one jutsu?
Okay, so give me that again.
And it also says at the end, no Kekai, Genkai. I don't know what the hell.
Genkai.
Yeah. So would you rather be a wizard but all your spells are random, or be a ninja from Naruto but you only get one jutsu?
That's hard, bro, because like one jutsu, okay.
What's a jutsu?
So jutsu is just basically like a technique. So like in Naruto, there's techniques and it's like fire style, which is like you blow a giant fireball, or there's shadow clone jutsu, which you make like Naruto specifically can make like thousands of himself, which would be kind of fucking helpful. There's also substitution jutsu, so it's basically just a technique or something that like it's basically a spell in a way. If you guys don't know what a jutsu is, if you haven't watched Naruto, like I know you guys know what a spell is at least. It's like a spell. I would probably do jutsu, and God, I can't do Kenkei Genkai, which Kenkei Genkai is a specific bloodline jutsu like the Sharingan or so on and so on.
Oh yeah.
So, damn, that's a tough one.
I think I'd be a wizard.
Random spells though? What if you just shrink yourself by accident?
Well, then I gotta wait until that random spell comes back to grow me.
Okay. Damn. Here's my other question. If I have a jutsu, that means I have access to chakra, right? With chakra, I can like run up walls and stuff. I can also jump really far and be really fast. So I'm gonna go with jutsu because you have to have chakra.
All right, I'll go with that too.
To be specific, I would do
because it doesn't specify.
I would do shadow clone jutsu because like I know everybody's like, oh, that's not realistic to have, but like, dude, I am gonna use one shadow clone. He's gonna go to work like 40 hours a week. I'm gonna stay home and chill. Like, I can have him do all my chores. If I want to hang out with somebody, I can hang out myself. I can fight myself if I want to. Like, yeah, I'm gonna take Shadow Clone Jutsu all the way. Even if I can only make one clone of myself, that will be fine. There's no need for me to be any more than one other me. That'd be kind of weird. Having two or three of me around, that'd be kind of fucking weird.
Yeah, we definitely don't need that.
I'd be doing so many pranks though. I'd like throw myself off a building.
I'd be getting so many snaps.
All the time, bro. All the time. I'd be going wild with that. I'd probably. Well, they wouldn't be able to. Man. Yeah, I don't know. It'd be too fun.
Ooh. Okay. I got another one here. This one's kind of brutal, man. Would you rather have a successful son or a successful daughter?
I'm not gonna get into why I'm gonna answer this, but I'm gonna say son, and that's all I'm gonna say.
That's why I said this one's sort of brutal. I'm like, damn.
I don't want to. It's just I would be really protective if I had a daughter. I don't really want kids to get into that topic, but like I don't think I could handle like a bunch of dudes chasing after my daughter without me going like a little bit
yeah, crazy.
Yeah, crazy. Exactly. Like
yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just like you guys let us know on that one, because that's I know that doesn't sound like a tough one, but I feel like a lot of dudes out there listening to this probably understands where we're coming from.
Oh man, that one's like one of the top ones on Reddit right now too.
Yeah, honestly, I saw that. That's kind of so crazy. Funny.
Man,
how would you rather kill Mikey Mouse?
Oh yeah, I saw that. I'm like, wait, what?
What? Just step on it, burn it, stew it until it kills itself? What? Oh man, Ooh. This is okay. Reddit gets a little wild. We're gonna go into something a little bit sweeter, something real sweet, something like a treat.
You said something about it during or talking about cockroaches. You were like, yeah, they can survive nuclear explosions. Well, guys, I have been wrong for the past decade of my life. I swear. I learned this in like 5th grade. Twinkies don't survive nuclear wars.
And bombs. They also have an expiration date. They only last 45 days. Zombieland straight lied to us.
Yeah. No, that was Snowballs, bro. Buying Twinkies.
He was looking for Twinkies.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, because whenever he finds Snowballs, we're what the fuck is this? No!
It's the Snowballs. Consistency.
But guys, Twinkies.
We got some interesting facts about Twinkies for y'all. Bet you guys didn't know this shit.
Dude, I've been studying up on Twinkies for like, I don't know, a couple of years now. So you'd think that I knew one fact, but turns out my fact was wrong. But I know the rest.
Did you know they're instrumental in a scientific experiments? There's an abbreviation for it.
What?
Twinkies stands for Test with Inorganic Noxious Cakes in Extreme Situations.
Dude, I don't even...
Oh my god, I'm not making this up. On my whole life, this is a real thing. And it has a picture with a Twinkie tied to a kite. And right underneath it says, are Twinkies affected by gravity? And the answer is yes. So if you guys thought they defied gravity, you guys were wrong. Twinkies do not defy gravity, y'all. You can't fly with them. Just know that.
Surprise, motherfucker. Deep fried Twinkie, motherfucker.
Oh, man. There's another thing is, not as interesting in fact, but Twinkies come in 2 deep fried flavors. I don't know why I wanted to tell you that.
Whoa. 2 deep fried flavors. Woo. And those, by the way, are either golden brown or chocolate flavor. What does golden brown taste like? Let's
What is golden brown?
It just says you can pick up. What flavor is that? You can pick up deep fried Twinkies in either a golden brown or chocolate flavor.
Like, I know what chocolate is, but what is golden brown?
What does a golden brown taste like?
I've never tasted something and been like, yeah, this tastes like golden brown. Is it just like, I don't know. Did you know that the original filling for Twinkies was actually banana?
Banana, disgusting. I would have never liked Twinkies if I would have known that.
I low-key kind of fuck with it.
No, I don't like banana flavor.
I do.
No. Well, I mean, it'd probably be good, yeah, if you like banana flavor, but
I don't know. I feel like they were probably pretty bomb. I'm disappointed I never got to try them.
dude, I just remember the first time my mom found Twinkies in the store again. If we have any young listeners, back like 7 years ago, Twinkies were out of distribution. They were no longer making Twinkies, and then for some reason, several years later, they decided to bring it back. Anyways, I remember I got home from school. My mom's like, "I got a surprise for you," and I was like, "What's up?" And there was a freaking box of Twinkies on the counter, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Just a fat kid and his Twinkies, y'all.
Twinkies are smack. I honestly, I really fuck with Twinkies. I could go for some Twinkies right now.
Yeah.
Did you
I
know?
guess the original box said original golden, but it doesn't say brown. So this one just tastes like golden.
Nothing like golden. That's why whenever I get ice cream, I'm like, hey, do you got that golden flavor? That golden brown?
They're like, yes, sir, it'd be $2,000 and sprinkled gold flakes on top of it.
Yeah. It's the only time McDonald's ice cream machine works, when you order the golden brown ice cream.
Oh, because the golden arches. I get it.
I see what I
that
did
was
there.
good. Yeah, I see what you did there. Haha.
So I'm sure we talked about this. The Twinkie defense.
Yeah. Y'all, this is so ridiculous. I'll let Matt explain it. It's just ridiculous.
So after Supervisor Harvey Milk was shot by defendant.
Yeah, get that. His last name is Milk. Like, what? Tell me those two and two don't go together. Like, the government set something up here, man.
And Dan White used the Twinkie defense when he said supposedly his diet was Twinkies and junk food, and it altered his state of mind and into a period of depression. So he blamed Twinkies on it. He was like, yeah, it's fucking with me. That we could basically use something called a McDonald's defense nowadays, or a fast food defense.
Yeah, that whole era was so small but so crazy. People were trying to sue big fast food chains like McDonald's, for a shit ton of money for the smallest things.
A lot of them actually got money from that, though, which is the other crazy thing. It almost makes me wish I would have tried, but knowing I don't have the money to get that kind of lawyers.
Yeah, no kidding. But bro, I remember one time my mom, whenever I was younger, she brought us McDonald's home for dinner, and her burger still had the cheese wrapped in plastic on it.
No way.
Melted and everything on the burger.
Oh my god.
I was like, you could have sued on that.
Yeah, honestly.
Got some money. She said, no, I don't want to do that. Why didn't you? Yeah, Mom, I know you're probably listening. Why didn't you sue McDonald's for that, huh?
$1 million settlement right there.
Yeah. Could have been. But dude, did you know that... Oh, I interrupted you. You continue.
Oh, no, that was pretty much it about the Twinkies defense. It was just basically an excuse to be depressed because of junk food, which was an interesting defense, and the fact that it even got brought up in court is hilarious. It got thrown out. It's not a plausible reason of defense. It's been stated. You can look it up. It's a real thing, though. It's called the Twinkie defense. It's the improbable legal defense, as how it's described.
Twinkies were also named after a shoe. Did not know this.
What?
Yeah, it says when creator James Dewar got the idea for Twinkies, he happened to pass by a billboard for twinkle toe shoes. So he started coming up with a shoe brand called Twinkie, kind of taking that twinkle toe shoes. But then I guess he just started birthing the food, freaking Twinkies.
That must have been an interesting mistake.
He's probably sitting there a little high, and he's designing the shoe, and he's like, damn, this would look good as a food.
He's like, this low-key looks like it would taste good. Just stuff it with cream. Oh my god, that's where golden brown comes from. Oh my god, it's a shoe flavor.
It's a shoe flavor.
You know what's crazy though? Now I'm thinking about it, was golden brown with banana filling.
Yeah,
it doesn't sound great. I don't know if you could have sold me on that.
Those what are they, pound cakes that are super fucking dry, and they're for your coffee or whatever.
Oh yeah, coffee cakes.
Oh yeah, sure, but I don't drink coffee. I'm not old. I don't know. But yeah, I just imagine the old ones being dry and gross.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know. Either that or they're like really moist, nice and moist.
Yeah.
I know some people hate that word, so I just wanted to say it a couple more times. Moist.
Dude, fun fact, my wife hates the words panties, yams, butterflies, and moist, of course.
Like the yams, bro?
She doesn't like the word yams.
You ain't got the yams, bro.
Yams. I'm going Dude, yam.
How about the I don't know. I can't get over the fact that Twinkies was named after Twinkle Toe shoes. Who was going to that store? Tap dancers? Like, what did they sell? Tap shoes? Like, dude, you weren't like nowadays. You're not getting me in that store.
No,
there's nothing in there that I want. I guarantee they don't sell Nikes. I don't want your stinking dress shoes. Twinkle Toe shoes. Why don't you twinkle yourself out of my life?
Out of here. Twinkle your little toes the fuck out of here. Oh my god. Yeah, so fun facts about Twinkies. We thought we'd throw something random and funny and those were all pretty funny in my opinion.
I agree.
Dude, so real quick, we'll give a shout out RIP to the person who died. I don't even know their name. It's
James
terrible.
Michael Tyler.
Well, no, I was gonna say the on set of with Alec Baldwin, but also James Michael Tyler.
Here. Yeah. Hold on, let me pull that up while you talk about James Michael, our boy from Friends.
Yeah, I was about to say, if you guys don't know him, he was in the show Friends. That's all I really knew him in. But I think he was the barista in the coffee shop at the bottom, if I remember right.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, okay, I thought so. Started thinking about it, I was like, damn, I haven't watched that show in forever.
So,
but then, yeah, go ahead.
Helena Hutchins was killed whenever a prop gun was shot off at the Bosnia Creek Ranch in Santa Fe on Thursday. So Alec Baldwin had a prop gun, and like it went off and it killed somebody. And that's a prop gun. Maybe we should be more careful. I don't know.
It's crazy because they said they checked it before set and it was not loaded, but it's a prop gun, so why are you checking? I don't know. It just doesn't quite add up to me. I'm like...
Well, yeah, I'm sure we'll hear a little bit more about it maybe in the future. Either that or we'll never hear anything else about it. But, this isn't, the first time prop guns have went off and, hurt somebody on set, which is, maybe, I don't know. I know they use blanks for the rounds, but, he shot the director in the shoulder, and one person was killed, so it was,
Yeah. Wait, 2 people, right?
No, just one person died, but Joel Souza, the director of the film Rust, was shot in the shoulder.
See, and there's this controversy right now about saying it's weird how he got it and how it happened. So some people are like, oh, he did it himself, obviously, and then other people are like, no, it was an accident. But he is showing his condolences by he's already gave a bunch of money to them to pay for he's offering to do all this shit basically for the families. That also, yeah, that's the other thing is is it hush money or is he actually doing this out of the kindness of his heart because it was an accident? Who the hell knows?
I don't know. It's sad regardless.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll get more details on it, but that is crazy to me. There's always, for movies that Alec Baldwin is a pretty big name actor and
yeah,
that means there's probably at least I would say there's probably 50 people working on there's probably more than 50 people, but there's lots of people probably working on this movie, and the fact that all that got past everybody and he that's crazy. That's so nuts to me. But
behind the scenes Hollywood stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and leave off this fun podcast with something quite spooky.
Well, real quick before we get into that, I just want a little side note that I just found out. A man spent $57,789 in coronavirus relief aid on one Pokemon card, the feds say.
What Pokemon card?
It doesn't even say the card, which sucks. Basically, the man...
Have it now.
Yeah, right? They, destroyed it as evidence. No!
Dude, every Pokemon card collector cringed when you just said that.
Yeah, right. Basically, it looks like he applied for a small business, fund.
Like financial aid?
Kind of, yeah. It says, he applied for a small business aid through the CARES Act in July 2020, so amidst all the COVID stuff. It looks like he filed it as a small business, and basically took that money, and just spent it on a Pokemon card.
Dude. How about your life being ruined over a Pokemon card?
Dude.
It better, I mean, it obviously wasn't worth it. He's not going to get to keep it, like, for what?
Yeah.
Big L's there. F in the chat.
Yeah.
But
no kidding.
Another quick thing on the Pokemon topic. I have my Pokemon Oreo Mew cookie posted up right now on eBay, and I have had no bites. But I've had quite a few interesting conversations with people on the Facebook market. I won't get too in detail, but I have been offered $300 just for a bite of the cookie. I've been offered $400 for a look at the cookie. Obviously, they're trolling, but like, yeah, pretty
That's
interesting stuff, honestly.
Man. So yeah, anyway. This is we're kind of gonna wrap it up here. But since it is the week of Halloween, we gotta end with like a little Reddit/no sleep story. This one's kind of funny, but you'll get the gist of it by the time you hear the end. So if you guys got something to do or whatever, peace out. If not, stick around and listen to the story.
Poggers, y'all.
Yes, exactly. So it's like, the title is My Boyfriend Literally Cannot Stop Saying Poggers. And it said, it started innocently enough. I was reading on the bed while my boyfriend Charlie was playing on the computer with his friends. I don't play many games, so it's interesting to listen to the things he says to his friends, even if terminology goes over my head sometimes. There will be movements when I'll be focusing on something, and he'll just spout off words that sound exaggerated. No, exaggerstrial. I don't even know how to say that word. I'll just laugh it off and continue with what I was doing. It wasn't my thing, but he enjoyed it, and it wasn't hurting anyone initially. Like I said, I had my nose between the pages reading about various armchair philosophies as Charlie raved on in the background playing Call of Duty, I think. He had won a match and swiveled his chair to face me like a dog when they did a trick right and said, "Finally got a win tonight," he exclaimed, more for himself than for me. She said, "That's great, babe." I replied, offering an admittedly false smile. Women. I was happy he was happy, but I can't say I was invested. He turned back to the computer and talking to his friends again. They were hyping each other up. I heard Charlie mutter, "Now that was poggers." It was such a random word that it tickled my brain when I heard it, and I couldn't help but laugh. Charlie leaned back in his chair as if he was exhausted himself as he swiveled to face me once more. I can't believe it. I just said that unironically. He echoed my laughter, offering a painfully adorable smile. I feel like I should wash my mouth out with soap. He repeated the word a few times, making sure to let out popping noises when mouthing the P. What? We both laughed. Poggers. We both laughed it off, and he said goodnight to his friends. It was time for me to get some quality time with him, and with that, my book remained on the nightstand until morning. In the morning, I woke up early and felt like I had gotten a really good sleep, so I was in a good mood. And when I'm in a good mood, I make breakfast. I heard the stairs creak and figured the smell of bacon had lifted Charlie out of bed. He stumbled into the kitchen, his hair a complete mess. "That smells poggers," he groggily moaned. With mild amusement, I went to laugh. Charlie's face conveyed confusion as he stood in the kitchen, his eyes strained and mouth still slightly agape. I totally meant to say great. He continued, turning his gaze to me. "God, I'm tired," he chuckled before shuffling over to me to help me finish up with breakfast. The rest of the day was pretty normal. We even decided to go on a little impromptu date, the best we could with the world the way it is. But when we were winding down for the night, getting ready to brush our teeth, Charlie informed me that today was poggers, babe. I politely replied that if he was trying to mess with me, it was going to get old fast. He shook his head. It just kind of came out, sorry, he said, raising the toothbrush and dragging it across his teeth. We both brushed our teeth and in unison spit into the sink. As I was wiping my mouth, I could see Charlie leaning in for a kiss. I turned my head, but when I met him face to face, a protrude smell climbed into my nostrils. It was enough to make me recoil away from him. It was like battery acid poured over rotting roast beef. I instinctively put my hand over my nose. "Your breath is awful," I told him, which we both knew was odd because he just brushed his teeth and it's not like he has gingivitis or anything. He went to point out as much by pointing to the sink but stopped. I followed his cue and looked into the sink where he had spit out the toothpaste out. On my side of the sink there were a few lingering bubbles. On his side of the sink, however, still clinging to the white porcelain was a thick and frothy substance. I love that word, frothy. It was a sickly yellow with streaks of red that would suggest Charlie's dental hygiene had degraded significantly in just one night. He quickly reached over and turned the faucet on. Opening his mouth, he checked out the condition of his teeth. They looked completely fine. It took a good bit of water for the mess he had spit into the sink to budge it all. Eventually, with the convincing of steaming hot water, it disappeared. I went to say something to him, but he was captivated by his reflection with his mouth moving ever so slightly, his lips quietly repeating the "p" sound over and over, or the "p" sound. I told him that we should just go to bed and we'll make an appointment to see the dentist, make sure something weird wasn't going on with bacteria or something. We made our way to B and settled down for the night. With the lights turned off and the dark of a sleeping world creeping in, I closed my eyes. I don't know how long I was asleep for, but I was woken slowly by a small prodding on my shoulder. Charlie was ever so gently poking me, like a child who wants their parent to wake up on Christmas but is afraid to make them angry. I shuffled my body, still coming out of the throes of deep sleep. My body was sluggish and the blankets felt like they weighed 30 pounds. As I turned over, I reached behind me to flick on the light, and the sudden brightness momentarily stunned my vision. I started wiping my eyes and was about to ask what was wrong when a very familiar and pungent smell assaulted my senses again. It was worse this time. It had been sitting for a while. I struggled to keep my urge to vomit subdued. This was made all the more difficult when I moved to brace my new position and felt my fingers press against the sheets. As my fingers pressed down, a hot and vicious liquid rose from the divots I had made. Ew. Disgusting. Then I saw Charlie. His face had that sickly yellow shit caked onto his face. He looked like an infant that fought hard against eating his baby formula. His mouth was moving and words were coming out, but just barely. His voice was raspy. I could tell they were painful. His body would tremble every time he started to speak. But God, jizz. I don't know how to do that. Such a horrid sight, watching each letter accompanied by a small spittle of the disgusting liquid, and before long I could see how it was about to get worse as he kept going. Poggers. I could see thin trails of smoke lifting from inside his mouth and under his lips. Horrified, I hadn't moved my hand yet, but once the new drippings had made their way to my hand, I could feel an intense burning sensation, and Charlie started to shake more violently as I finally snapped to my senses and ran to the phone. Dialing 911 as fast as I could, I heard Charlie behind me beginning to shout "Poggers" over and over. I could just imagine the molten ooze spewing from his mouth like Yellowstone has. He attempted to clear his mouth of the heat. I didn't know what to even say to the operator, so I told the lady he had severe burns and trouble breathing. Keeping the phone off the hook, as the operator confirmed that an ambulance was on the way, I made my way back to Charlie. It was so much worse than I first saw. The blankets on the bed where he was facing away from me were soaked. The liquid had saturated the sheets and bed to the point that they were dripping onto the hardwood. Plumes of smoke rose from the hardwood, threatening to bore right through the floor, but it wasn't my biggest concern. I couldn't help but picture Charlie laying there all night, saying that stupid word over and over, suffering but not wanting to disturb me. He looked so weak. I don't know what that fluid was, but it was taking all the nutrients Charlie needed to function with it. The whites in his eyes were beginning to stain yellow like a smoker's walls, and his skin was so visibly dry I thought he was going to start molting. He barely recognized the man I knew as he rose from the bed, shambling to his feet. It looked like some cheesy flick with a small budget, but seeing it in person happening to someone I loved was so painful and scary. I started to worry about my safety as he got closer to me, the same yellow substance dropping from his slack jaw. His eyes were so different. I felt as though he couldn't even see me. He was just heading towards something. Poggers. A whisper came from his mouth, well-formed letters unfettered by the slob dwelling in his mouth. Why did they make that sentence so hard? The voice was ethereal. It didn't even sound like Charlie anymore. Before Charlie closed in, I saw the sensitivity, I don't even know that word, of blue and red lights flashing beyond our bedroom window. Quickly, I ran to the front door, letting paramedics in and trying to explain to them what was going on as we headed back up the stairs. Charlie looked so weak, but it took the three of them to subdue him as he fought back, his grotesque saliva burning holes in their clothing, though I don't think they noticed. They made it apparent that I wasn't allowed to go with him as they loaded him into the back of the ambulance. As they drove away, leaving me to my own devices, I could see one of the paramedics pressing a needle into Charlie's neck and that he was gone. I was left standing there all alone in the dark. Eventually, I made it back upstairs and started cleaning up the mess. Luckily, the piles of bile no longer burned on contact. Through the texture was still enough to make me wince. I didn't think there was a point washing anything, so I just pulled the bed with its covers out to the alleyways and rested them against the garage. I didn't sleep that night. I was so out of it. I almost didn't hear the phone ringing. Someone from the hospital telling me I could visit. I was there in no time. While looking at Charlie, who was still pretty heavily sedated but conscious, I asked the doctor if Charlie had said anything yet. The doctor said it would be difficult for Charlie to speak as he had chewed through his tongue during his night there. Looking at my boyfriend, I could see that even under sedation, his jaw was moving up and down, his lips pursed and contorted as if trying to speak. However, with the drugs and lack of a tongue, all that came out of his mouth were small whistles of air. As I stared at Charlie, I heard something behind me, a commotion caused by another person being rushed into the ER. Turning around, I saw one of the paramedics that had helped get Charlie into the ambulance rushing down the hall. So many people were talking at once, and I'm sure I must have been the only one to hear it. The ambulance driver speaking low under the mutter of voices and the chaos tripping machinery. This is not Poggers.
That was a wild ride of a story.
Right?
Like,
it reminds me of that whenever you're a kid, go into the bathroom and look in the mirror with the lights off and say, Mary, 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 or something like that.
Yeah, the Bloody Mary.
Yeah, that's it. That's what it reminds me of, because it's like, don't say the word Poggers, y'all.
Poggers is a curse, apparently, because like now the ambulance driver was saying it too.
Yeah. Just let the boys have their terms.
Let the boys have their terms, but yeah, that was quite a ride for a story.
Sorry, I'm not the best reader, y'all. If you stuck through that whole thing.
You guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Cody, you want to go ahead and take us out?
Yeah, hey, quick thing, y'all. Let us know if you like the music that we're plugging in, the one for the Would You Rather and then the ending. Just let us know what you think about that. We're kind of playing around with some things since we got my audio fixed, thank God. So, yeah, just let us know what y'all think. Anyways, y'all, take care of yourselves this week. Have a great week. Enjoy your weekend. And we will see you guys next week, of course. Later.
Out.